Welcome to the Real Estate Investor Summit podcast, coming to you straight from the smallest big town in Texas with your host, mentor, and owner financing master, Mitch, aka Be the Bank Stephen. The possibilities of life without a JOB start here. So grab your pen and paper and listen up. Y'all just might figure out how to fail forward to financial freedom.
This is Mitch with the Real Estate Investor Summit podcast. Today, I'm going to be doing a solo cast. That means just you and me, and there will be no guest today. I guess it's kind of a good thing. A lot to learn, always a lot to learn. Today, we're going to talk about how to capitalize on every single lead. Leads cost a lot of money. So sometimes we're mining for a certain kind of lead, and then all kinds of things come up. And a lot of people tend to blow off those other leads, even though they're valuable. If not to them, they're very valuable to someone else. So we want to make sure that we capitalize on every lead. So I think, again, it's important to remember, just because we're mining for one kind of lead doesn't mean that we're not going to run into a whole bunch of other stuff. For example, I like to mine for little bread and butter Walmart houses for Walmart people, where I can take the rent payment in that area and I can switch a person from a renter over to being an owner for the same monthly payment as rent. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for houses I can buy with OPM, other people's money, and then sell them with owner financing for a profit and keep the buyer in the same with the same amount of expenses every month, just moving from being a renter to a buyer. That doesn't mean that I don't come up with a ton of other leads, people that have houses that they could sell subject to, or I don't know, all kinds of stuff. First of all, I think you need to break down the different kinds of strategies and the different kinds of buyers there are out there. So in strategies, you've got people that assign contracts or do assignment fees. They're wholesalers. So this falls under the wholesaling. Then you got your flippers, which are the buy and fix and flip, the one-time cash guys, in and out. There's the buy it, don't fix it flippers, one-time in and out. But then there's the hybrid, which is kind of like what I do. The hybrid, I'm kind of like a hybrid of that flipping. I buy it and fix it, and then owner finance it to someone. So I'm really not all the way out, but I have created a cash flow, but I've eliminated the liabilities of being a landlord. That's what my course, The Art of Owner Financing, really preaches, is how to create a cash flow stream without carrying all those liabilities that your landlord next door has to carry. So the hybrid there is buy it, fix it, sell it with owner financing. Buy it, don't fix it, and sell it with owner financing, which many of you know is my favorite strategy. Just saves a lot of time and money not having to do rehabs. Then there's people who buy lots and people who buy land and then seller finance it or sell it outright. You got small multifamily, duplexes, fourplexes, eightplexes. I really like this as a category because a lot of people are drawn to that kind of cash flow. Even though I don't agree with it, there's a ton of people that like it. Then there's just regular apartment complexes, anywhere from 50 units to, 1,500 units. Small commercial, strip centers, storages, which I'm fond of, self-storages, mini storages, boat storages, industrial warehouses. And then there's these types of people. There's types of people that just love buying the slumlord stuff. I used to be one of them. I grew out of it, but there's people that never grow out of it, and there's people going into that arena right now. Why you would stay there, I don't know, but there's a ton of people that like to buy cheap, filthy little houses and then rent them out, and to some of the toughest neighborhoods on the planet, it seems like. So I really like that category because I run into this a lot, houses that I don't really want, but believe me, there's someone else out there that wants them. And And then there's the complete opposite of that. There's a guy that likes the really expensive houses. I'm not into expensive houses either because I feel like they're the first things to collapse in a recession. I feel like 2 or 3 or 4 expensive houses that are left empty could do some major damage to my finances. But there's people out there that are always going for the big hit. And they got their chest stuck out, and they believe that, if they're going to do a deal, if they're going to do a rehab, they want to make $200,000 or $300,000. And I get it, and that's cool too. Everyone's got a place. So I really like that list of people, the ones expensive houses where they're buying $1 million house for $650,000, doing a $150,000 remodel, and then selling it and making a good chunk of change. That guy. There's also people that like to do sub-twos, and there's a whole bunch of people that are into this. I do a lot of sub-twos, or I've done my fair share of sub-twos, but it's not something I want to make a career out of just because I don't like having major bank loans that I really don't have the permission to wrap or carry. But I do some. I just make sure that I don't do more than I can't pay off. And then there's people that do lease options. There's also experts in probate. There's experts in tax liens, experts in foreclosure and pre-foreclosure. And that's just to name a few. The thing is, you've got to stay focused on what your expertise or your strategy is. You have to stay focused on it so that, you can't be an expert at every single thing on the planet, at least not overnight, or at least not in the beginning. So I try to stay focused on, the owner finance strategy. But along the way and over the years, 22 years, I've learned to deal with some other types of properties, especially sub-twos and maybe 1 or 2 expensive houses, but not an overabundance of them. I love lots and land. Mobile homes, I've gotten way into mobile homes. But they're a little bit like dealing with a slumlord. A lot of turnover, a lot of small pieces all having to move together. But stay focused on what you're focused on. And then when this lead comes in out of nowhere from your marketing efforts, and it's not exactly what you do, don't throw it away. These leads are important. We need people to take our secondary level leads. We have our primary leads, the ones that we want to deal with, and then you got your secondary and your third level leads that, while we may not care to deal with them, someone else out there is out there looking for them right now, actively looking. So again, I like my little Walmart houses, but if I find an 8-plex for sale, and I really don't like 8-plexes, but that doesn't mean there's not money in them. Someone comes up and wants to sell me an 8-plex, I do my research. I give them a low offer. If they take my low offer, or if I can arrange really reasonable seller financing, I'll go ahead and write the contract with 30, 40 days to close. And then I'm going to go out and flip that contract, or flip my position, or flip the property and make a profit. It may be $5,000, $10,000. It might be $15,000. It might be more. It just depends. But just because that's not my forte or not what I'm into doesn't mean I can't profit off the lead. So I think it's important that you build your lists in advance. You want to build your lists in advance. So there's a lot of ways to build these lists, but at a minimum, you should have a list of wholesalers, slumlords, expensive house buyers, sub-2 experts, and people who like apartments. That seems to be the kind of peripheral leads that I get. And so I have a list, and those lists aren't that hard to build. I like to use livecom.com to build these lists. Livecom, LIVECOMM.com, as in live communications. Make sure you put the 2 M's in there. LIVECOMM.com. This is where you buy phone numbers, and everyone the incoming callers, you can capture their cell phone number if they call you from the cell phone. So I put out signs to build my cash buyers list or my wholesalers list. I just put out signs that say $100,000 house for $48,000. Well, the people that call that Livecom number and that I capture their cell phone number in a text distribution list, which is attached to that phone number, I'm going to assume that they either have the money to buy those houses or they know where to get the money to buy that house for $48,000. Now, when they call, I just set up a recording inside LiveCom that says, that opportunity has already been taken advantage of by someone, but when I have another opportunity, I will be sure to send you a text and let you know about it. And if you ever want off this list, just reply with the word STOP, S-T-O-P, and you will be automatically removed. Thank you, goodbye. I don't put my name on there. I don't put my company name. I don't give them a number to call me or to contact me because I'm kind of running from the sign police sometimes, and I don't really want to give them any access to me. Besides, all I really put that sign out for was to capture the incoming caller's phone number and put it in and have it automatically put into a text distribution list under the title Cash Buyers / Wholesalers. And
Master Mitch Be the Bank Stephen on the Real Estate Investor Summit podcast. Let us now blatantly and without apology bribe you towards financial freedom by offering you a whole bunch of free stuff. Go to reinvestorsummit.com and get you some. And you all come back now, you hear?